A young lady was applying for college, and it was a rather prestigious university. And on the application, there was a very simple question. It said, "Are you a leader?" And so she had thought about this. She didn't think she had a really good chance to get into this school. And she really thought about it, and she said, I'm not really a leader. I'm comfortable following. So she said, "Are you a leader?" She checked no. And she was really worried. She thought, I'd really like to go to this school, but they're probably not going to accept me anyway. When she got her letter in the mail one day from this university, she opened it up. And in the letter, it started out by saying, "We have accepted 1,452 leaders into our freshman class. They're going to need at least one follower. So we accept you to our university." So often today, everybody wants to be the leader. Everybody wants to be in charge. It's kind of called control. And I heard not too long ago that probably one of the biggest concerns in our political world is not that we're not producing leaders. We are producing people who can be leaders. But one of the problems is most of our people and in our culture, nobody wants to follow. The gospel today has Jesus looking for followers, issuing an invitation. And really, Jesus is looking for people that are going to follow him. He says, "Come and follow me." Now, there's nothing wrong with being a leader, but we also have to know how to follow. Just like the children came forward here, haven't done this in a long time. Many of them have probably never done it. And they kind of followed. They trusted as they went out the door back to Padre Pio's place for something that they weren't sure what probably they're going to in that same way. Jesus was inviting and saying, come and follow me into a new life. Come follow me into a life of faith, into a relationship with God. Leave behind your worries, your cares. Bring with you whatever it is that might be on your mind, an openness to the Spirit. Have a heart that is filled with love. He didn't say all of that in the invitation. He didn't have to, because he had some people that he was extending it to who were searching. They were seeking something. So Jesus asked, "Well, what are you looking for?" That's a great question. Jesus saying to each one of us, what are you looking for? Today, when we meet Jesus in the Eucharist, today when we take him into the intimacy of ourselves, he's asking each one of us that question. What are you looking for? And really, that conversation that we have with God post-communion is something that strengthens that gift of relationship with him. What are you looking for? And for those first apostles, they were kind of eager. Look, even their name got changed. Look at how Peter suddenly became Cephas, a new name. His life was transformed. And when we give ourselves to God, our life can be transformed. Samuel, in the first reading, is there wondering, who's calling out to me? See, Samuel didn't recognize God's voice, so he really wasn't too sure. He thought it was Eli calling him. It was not Eli, but Samuel at least was open. Samuel at least was willing to say, "Here I am, Lord, all of me." Maybe today God is asking each one of us, just come be with me for a minute today. Give yourself to me. Listen to me. And that's really what Samuel kind of got. He said, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." I'm open, God. I want to know what you have in store for me. And I'm going to listen. I'm not going to tell you what to do or tell you all that I want you to do. And if you don't do it, then I'm going to get really annoyed with you. Maybe that's kind of our conversation with God sometimes. But rather, Lord, just speak. And I just want to feel your presence. I want to listen. That's kind of one of the great qualities of a follower is they listen. Some leaders don't know how to listen because it's all about them. But when it comes to God, he wants us to listen. You know, how often do we take the converse of that, of what Samuel said? Instead of saying, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening," we say, "Listen, Lord, your servant is speaking, and I need you to hear me right now." No, today God is asking, what are you looking for? Are you willing to follow me? What does that mean? If we follow no one else, if we follow no one else on Twitter or Facebook or follow anybody else in maybe our job or whatever it might be, there's one person that really is inviting us to be with him, to follow him in the line, and that is the Lord.